Alright, what is up, everybody? Gold here. Gonna do a walkthrough of Elden Ring for beginners in preparation for that DLC coming out. So you have a lot of options on starting bit. I really like strength faith builds, so we're gonna go ahead and make a confessor. And then for keepsakes, you can pretty much go with whatever you really want to try. Crimson Amber Medallion gives you more health at the beginning, that can be good. Lands Between Rune gets you more levels once you reach that point. Golden Seed gets you more healing. Lots of different options. I don't recommend this one. This is for a more hardcore oriented player. I will be going with this just for extra levels. And we will go ahead and just use one of those. And now we get treated to the opening cutscene, which is great.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. and one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Ah. Man, the art and voice acting is really awesome in this. Hopefully, we get all the way through it in time for the DLC next month. Everything looks so good. Ugh. Alright, for anybody new, you can jump, you can roll, you can run. You've got light attack, heavy attack. Got your parry on this shield, your guard. And then because we went Confessor, we have some incantations. We've got healing, which is nice. And then Assassin's Approach, which probably will not be overly useful to us quite yet. Come right through here. There's going to be a boss. I'm just going to go over to the side, though. I know my skills. I know I'm not going to first time that, probably.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
And there's our future maiden and future mount. Alright. Now that we have our healing, we are gonna want to come in and remove this. Whoops. How do we take that off? fuck. That's exactly what we didn't want to do with it. But my cat kept getting in the way. So yeah, we're gonna run down here for the little tutorial cave that's gonna tell you all the basics. This is a site of grace. If you rest at it, you get all your healing back, but all the enemies come back as well. Ah, this is where I was in the wrong screen. So you can lock on, backstab. If this is your first time, all the helpful tips on how everything works can be read. I have just been skipping through them. We want to run through here because we've got that guy up there ready to shoot us. And then this guy has a big shield. If you two-hand your weapon, you won't get bounced. But if you're only one-handing it, attacking him will pretty much guarantee that you bounce. He's gonna stab you. It's not gonna be a good time. It'll hurt. But now we can zig and zag to get the crossbow guy. Ah, yes, stealth. Great thing that they added to this. I miss it when I play the older Souls games. Wonderful, wonderful addition. The older games, it always feels like you should be able to stealth, and then you just aren't. Ah, yeah, this, Stake of America, outside boss rooms, another great addition. Playing older Souls games, it kind of sucks when you have to do the run back to the boss, such as doing this entire cave again. Though this cave was easy, so not the worst thing. But older games, some of them are really, really bad. Alright. Yeah. They want you to guard counter him. We're just gonna jumping heavy attack and then critical. See ya, Gary. And with that, through the tutorial section. Also, any of the bits that they give you. Where is it? Is it an inventory? Yeah. You can come here if you ever, like, forget the controls on something or how something works. All the helpful tips that they gave and explanations for things can be read from your inventory. We get a nice little emote. And we continue on. So this is an area we'll have to come back to later. As you can see, can't get through that fog wall. In order to break it, you need stone sword keys. You can start with one. However, you need one for each head of the statue. Most of the ones you'll find will already have one of the keys input, and you only need one to unlock. This, however, is one of the rarer, you need 2 keys to unlock it. So even if you start with the stone sword key, you're not going to be able to get into this area, and you don't really want to. No one should face a poison swamp that early in the game. Instead, step on the elevator. Come all the way up. You know, maybe I should have rested at that grace just to get the blood off me. Here we are, Limgrave. One of my favorite areas of it. I think it's probably the best starting area. Just in terms of being able to explore anywhere. A lot of decent challenges, but also a good number of easy beginner enemies. Let's see if we get the blood off. Yes, we're clean. Alright, so as you can see, the Site of Grace has a little arrow, which is pointing us in the way the story wants us to go. Sometimes it'll point you towards things that are way too hard for you to take on. Oh, you've also got your messages here. Let's praise the air tree. And then you also have your bloodstains. Yep, map. This will show you what other people did that got them killed. That looks like another confessor. Buddy, you made a mistake. I'm guessing he messed with this guy. Generally, if you can talk to someone, you should do it.
Yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity. Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, a path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave. Grace's guidance will reveal the path forward, most certainly, to Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Grafted.
Yep, that's Vare. If you picked up on the incredibly subtle, nefarious tone he uses, he's a bit of an asshole. But I mean, most of the NPCs are in this game at one point or another. Oh yeah, we're gonna come around, collect things. You've got your little wildlife. You can... I'm sorry, rabbit. Come back here. I want to show a lesson. You can kill them. It does not give you a lot of runes, and it makes you feel like a terrible person. They do drop craftable stuff, so if you're wanting to experiment with that, you might have to actually come and kill some of the birds or rabbits or goats, but generally I avoid that. Except some of the birds. Feathers can be useful. So we're gonna come down here. Ooh, yes. Alright, some of the skulls you'll see will randomly glow. If you break them, you get money. It's easier when you have your horse, because the horse can just trample things. That way you don't have to actually get down and swing at them, but for the moment, we are both horseless and maidenless. Oh, don't mess with that guy. He is there to ego check people and make some harder core gamers stay here for 4 hours beating their head against his brick wall to beat him before moving on. More money. More grace. Oh, that's another super nice thing. Being able to just fast travel from anywhere. Pick up some materials for upgrades later.
You're a tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
Yep. First merchant of the game.
I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer.
So he does have some stuff that we will want right off the bat. We want this. We want this. And then we want these. Just to be able to craft some stuff.
Goodbye. Nice to do business.
I always feel bad for the merchant's donkeys. They just look very, very malnourished. It makes me sad. But yeah, with that, we will just continue following the grace. Follow the path that the Grace of Gold puts out. And then this is a great... fuck. It's a great area for fighting some of the early enemies. You can practice stealth killing most of them if you're not rushing like I was. Yep, you can just get up right behind and fail to backstab. Exactly like that. This one, at least, you really can't fail because he's standing still. I was fully prepared to fail after I said that. Gonna get this guy. Yes, this is probably one of the easiest encampments to test different weapons and builds at. Rolling skull. Now, we're just gonna go get the Grace. And then we will move through it a bit. So, if you open your map, it gives you an overview of everything you've done. This will be where your dropped runes are when you die. That's where we jumped off the side of the cliff to avoid fighting that first boss. Also, helpfully, will tell you where NPCs are if you have encountered them. It'll give you the arrows for sites of grace that do point the way. And best thing is, these little obelisks that are shown are where you find the actual map. You can see it right ahead of me. The map will be right there. If you get into a new area, don't have the map for it, you can look for that obelisk. It'll lead you to that. You can pick up the map so you have a better idea where things are. The majority of this camp can be stealth killed. Oh yeah, these carriages have chests with more weapons and items in them. So if you see one, it's always a good idea to go pick it up. Got one guy that can be stealth killed. Sadly, you can't kill both of them. Can't stealth kill both of them. One will always see you. But as long as you don't approach it head on, this guy. Stealth kill. Ah, we see someone try to parry. Parrying is a good skill. I am not going to use it for a bit. Alright, so then we also have this guy, who is the most important one to either kill or avoid getting noticed by. Because if you see that big trumpet he's carrying, he will summon everybody to all gang up on you. And while that can be fun later, if you are new to this game, you do not want to deal with all of these guys swarming you at once. It's a lot easier to go around, pick off different ones, stealth kill the ones you can. Rarely used a flail. I have not heard good things. We can also, using our incantations, heal, which is part of the joy of being a faith build early. When you take little hits like that one guy gave to us, you don't have to expend one of your flasks to heal, and can instead just expend some of your focus points. Alright. This is probably the trickiest part of this encampment. As you can see, you've got the one guy walking, you've got one guy standing there, you've got a wolf going with the patrolling guy, you've got a guy standing there and a wolf with him. So we're gonna try and lure him over. this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to get all of them together because that's too many targets to hit at once. So we'll just calmly hide behind a wall. Wait for them to say it's just the wind. As they look at the dead corpse and not towards where I'm hiding. Let's see though, we can try and... Okay, well, we wanted to get that guy, but he was intent on going back to patrolling. So instead, let's wait for them to go around. We'll go backstab the guy that isn't moving. Roll away. None of these guys are too hard. They stagger pretty easily. The wolf is easy to kill. But the main thing is you just do not want them to all gang up on you at once. Harder to dodge, harder to kill them. You can backstab to one-shot most of them, but if you don't get the backstab, they will Ooh, we got a good shield. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we don't want him to see us, especially. So let's go hide and reset him. Oh, fuck, okay. I did not realize how much he'd pursue me. Well, that's obnoxious. I still want to kill the horn guy. He has a very long range. Let's try and lose him, put a few walls in between. All right. They are back to a good order. Ah, finally got you. Oh, shoot. We didn't want to attract him. Let's see if we lose him a bit easier this time. Do we see him? Is he still after us? Let's just take care of this guy. Okay, he's back to patrolling. So very important to get down here. This is an item you'll need. whetstone knife. So I haven't used it, but all your weapons have a special ability called a Ash of War or Weapon Art that gives you a special move that they can do. The whetstone knives let you change which one you've got. Cleared. So when we glowed right there, that's showing that we killed an entire group of enemies, and it recharges your flasks a bit. It's a bit arbitrary what counts as a group, but generally it's pretty good on placing them for larger things like that. And as you can see, the map we pulled from there gives us a lot more of an indication what is in the area, what you can go to, what you can explore. So very helpful to get. So if we'd rested at this when we first got it, this grace will always trigger a cutscene, or at least always if you go the path of getting all of these and getting here. It'll always trigger a cutscene, giving us the ability to level up and giving us our horse. So we just put that on pause to get the map and the whetstone knife. But now we can be no longer maidenless.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
So, this is kind of a false choice, unless you're trying to do a challenge run where you don't level up or anything. You need to accept her offer, and it would be rude to refuse.
Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Alright, so when we
Shall I turn your runes
meet with
to
Melina,
strength? Let my hand rest upon you.
We can summon her
For but a
wherever
moment.
when we sit down
Share them with me.
and spend money,
Your
gain
thoughts.
levels.
Your ambitions. The principles you would follow.
So we're gonna pour everything into strength right now. Ah, yes. So now that we have Torrent, we're gonna come over and equip the whistle to our pouch. So you've got in the bottom left your flasks, your spells, your right hand and left hand things. If you hold down Y for Xbox controller, triangle for PlayStation, you open up your pouch. You can assign even more stuff here for ease of use. And we can summon the horse. Or get off the horse. So, right after meeting Melina here, instantly fast travel back to here. There's going to be another NPC who only appears at night and only if you fast travel, and she is going to give you an item you really want.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word? A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Once again, you can lie to her. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get the item regardless. She'll just have some sassy remarks.
As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
So yeah. With that, we can go over and just like we did with the whistle, we can assign spirit ashes that we will use in certain areas that allow it. Not every section will let you summon them. Ah, that's a good one. So if you notice on the left, a little sort of like archway with writing has appeared. That's the indicator that you can summon ashes in the area. So you'll see as we go in and out, it'll disappear. It'll reappear. If you summon them and then leave, there's a amount of range when you're out of it where your ashes will still be there. They'll be flickering to show you that you're not in the proper area anymore and they're gonna disappear. So they'll give you a bit of a warning. But also generally, unless you're in the overworld like this, in the big open area exploring, generally that symbol only appears for boss fights, in which case you're kind of stuck in the room with them, and there's not really any risk of them disappearing and you wandering out of the area. They can still die, but they won't just vanish on you. So here we have what I think is probably the easiest little dungeon in the game. Very easy. Baby's first D&D dungeon crawl. Just like 2 rooms, some wolves, and a boss. That reminds me. So we can check here how many runes we need to level up, how many we hold. So we need about 900, so about 1,000. So we see we've got 400 here, and each of these is 200. So if we use 3 of these, and then that one, we can go ahead and level here. We're gonna put it in strength. So part of why we wanted it is we wanted to switch from our straight sword to this great sword that we picked up from that encampment. So you can see if you have something equipped and are moving to go into a different item, it will give you all the changes color-coded for your convenience. It'll show you blue if it's a positive change. So in this case, we're dealing more damage, and we have a better critical. But the cost for the skill it has is higher, and the weight is higher. So none of that really matters to us right now. So we're gonna go ahead and equip this. So it should go back in. So you can see there in like the center bottom right, it'll tell you what the stats are to wield the weapon. If you don't have those stats, it's going to be really hard to do good damage. You get some penalties. Importantly, for strength, you don't have to meet the strength requirement. You just have to get most of the way there and then two-hand the weapon. It'll tell you if you're too low that you only get the benefit or the full damage by two-handing. So we're gonna run around, lure up. Do better than that. Let's get you. Oh, auto went to one I didn't. We don't want to yet. Hey, buddy. Ah, they keep jumping down. Come back. That one is probably the most dangerous thing in the cave. Just because you can stagger him with a few hits, but he will be able to start hitting on you. You'll think you can just perma-stagger him, and then he just won't stagger anymore. Down here. Pick up all the items that we can use for craftables later. Cave moss. And then last. And then look at that. We're already at the boss fog. Now, you'll notice this is a very short one, and something we do not see is a stake of Marika. So, if you die at the boss, you will have to run all the way back from the beginning. Not a terrible thing if you stay on the right-hand side coming in and just rush past. You can get through this entire section before the wolves even really register you and come after you. So you can just run, hugging the right wall. Kill that one if you want, or ignore it. and then come all the way down. Start with max FP, and then we've got Beastman of Farah Missoula. He has a number of moves that combo way longer than you think they should, and move way further than you think they should. But if you do some just easy jumping heavy attacks, he staggers really easy. You have to watch your stamina a bit. If you run out in the middle, he will just start lunging at you. We didn't get to see his biggest combo, but we got to see some of it. So once you beat any dungeon, you'll have this nice little quality of life return to entrance bit, which is going to teleport you right back. So if we come out here, you'll see there's a very weird interaction between that teleport. Most teleports count you as having rested at the site of grace you go to. So it'll respawn all the enemies like this did, but the dungeon teleports, you'll see the flask we had is still expended. It didn't actually give us the benefits of resting at that grace. If we had any damage, we'd be missing health as well. So generally, I'll always come and rest again. It's also very good to spend the runes you get off of anything to just level up. We're gonna pour some stuff into health so that we have an easier time surviving. And then also, this is a great section for showcasing how easy it is to deal with some of these guys while you have a horse. Do not. So that is also part of why we wanted to get the 16 strength to one-hand this. Otherwise, it would not be dealing good damage one-handed on the horse. Now, the horse is wonderful for flat out missing if you're going too fast or things are moving past you. So that is always something to watch out for. It can be easier to fight things on foot, but especially large groups, it's really convenient to go mounted. So we're gonna ignore that horse guy for the moment, because he is a little bit more sturdy than we actually want to deal with.
You there? Could you help us out, Cully?
And so here we have one of the best NPCs.
You? Yeah, you there. Stop pretending you can't see me.
So, easy to tell, marked by a lot of messages from people who want you to find him.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye? I'm not that ugly, am I?
In order to actually talk to him, just roll.
What'd you go and do that for? Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really.
Yep, this is Bach.
Oh,
I love him. He is
What
great.
a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me. Or, well, if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Well, then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon. Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them, so I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
So yeah, once you exhaust his dialogue, he's gonna go back to the cave. We can find him there later. Right now, we are going to move this way. So there's a boss on the bridge if it's night, so we're gonna ignore that. But I like coming over here. Ah, yeah, there's also a decent-sized encampment in there. We'll come back to raid it later. But what I want is this grace for travel purposes later. And then we can double jump. Here. Alright. So these little scarabs, if they're white, have either material or ash of war if you go and hit them. But if they're glowing red like that, it means that once you hit them and break everything, they're gonna explode. So don't stick around. Oh yeah, the little red ones will refill your flasks. We currently have full flasks, so we don't need that one. Got another side of grace. And a painting. If you find the location shown on the painting, then you get a nice little reward. So we'll be picking that up later. So, once we've got all that, we're gonna run down here. Grab another site of grace. Oh yeah, there are some guys, they're not really worth a lot. They also don't attack you if you don't get close, so we're just gonna ignore them for now. Grab our site of grace. And then enter into another example of why mounted combatants are very deadly.
Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who
These are demi-humans. As you can see by the red glowing eyes they have at night, they're a little more dangerous. We'll run into some during the day. But being on a horse,
is anybody
we're not
there?
stuck on a tree like that. It's really easy to just run circles around, swing at, and deal with.
Grumpy sucker!
So the person screaming about suffering is a useless noble that we're going to talk to
Someone
after we deal with all these guys. Let's get the rooms right here. Oop. I love seeing the glowing skulls. They are random. They
Hello?
reset every time you rest.
is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the
Kenneth
great
Haight.
Kenneth Haight. You've come to lend me your aid, have you? Well, that's very kind, but no. No, the help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the true order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Haight. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young Tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool! And plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood. What are you waiting for? A kiss goodbye? My fort lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. Take it back for me. Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Haight is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval.
So yeah. Helpless, useless noble with a side quest. So his fort is to the south. Ooh, another skull. We are not going to go take that back quite yet, but there are a few things that I like to get in the woods while I am here. So the Mistwood here is a really great showcase for one of my big rules in Elden Ring, which is don't fuck with bears. They are terrifying. They will kill you. Doesn't matter how strong you get. The bears will just kill you. That up. You'll see what that goes to shortly. Grab all these sunflowers. And then we should have, yeah, a bunch more of the demi-humans. Bear. Deal with that bear. So yeah. When you come here, you hear the howling. It is our good friend up there, who we cannot get to come down yet. But we will, after a trip back to Calais. Going to very quietly pick up some stuff in here. Because there is a sleeping bear. Hey, Verdant Moonmist. Bears are not friendly. They are absolutely not in this game. They are a menace, and I respect them. Oh, fuck me, fuck me. Okay, we fucked with the bear. We're running. Of course. Oh boy, yep, see? Look at that. He's tearing down walls to get to us. Stone was flying. That is not a friendly bear. Yeah. I do not believe it. I saw no teacups. But yeah, now that we had that scare and a failed stealth check, we are going. Oh, the smaller bears are a little. Oh, fuck! Not quite as deadly, but also not friendly. As you can see, we have our little sign showing us that we can summon our spirit ashes, which is usually pretty ominous because it means there's something big that we do not want to deal with. We also grabbed the map for the area, which is a good indicator when you see these little squares. That means we have some graves to rob. So you got all these open caskets with a bunch of runes. Money. And then this guy with a nice little cookbook. Ooh, another skull. Alright, so on the left, coming up, you will see why we're allowed to summon ashes, and it is the troll right there. You are able to get around him. He is not super wide on the aggro range. But we'll also pick up this nice little flask. And some tears. So most of the churches that you'll see will have tears in them, which will upgrade your healing, so it's always good to get them. And then also, when you rest at the site of grace, a number of places, especially the churches. First, let's increase the healing. We'll get this little bonus where we can summon our maiden to impart wisdom.
Spoken echoes linger here. Words of Queen Marika, who vanished long ago. If you wish, I will share them with you. Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance.
Yep, so we got our wisdom from our maiden, and we are now going to utilize all that money we stole. If what Melina tells you at these places doesn't make a lot of sense, that's because you're hearing things out of order. Which, don't feel bad about, there's not really a way to get the correct order in a beginning playthrough, because I believe some of the things that make up the start of what she is imparting, the words of Queen Marika, the very first bits are located in one of the endgame areas. So you're supposed to find them out of order, just as you come across them. Oh shit. I also said we picked up that flask. That is the Wondrous Physic, which you can customize to have a little homebrew potion that can do different things. As we go through, we're going to find more of these tiers. The tiers will give you different options that you can mix and match. Right now, we're just doing the restore half health and give extra stamina. And now, because why not, I'm going to go embarrass myself against this troll. Heavy attacks will knock him down. If you come to the glowing part, you can then get a critical. Okay, less embarrassing than I thought it would be. I thought I would just die. Feel free to try that at home. Don't be upset if he kills you, though, especially at low levels. They are very hard to deal with. Gonna leave a message here. I have had a lot of practice, which means dying a lot. Where is it? Is it in people? There we go. Behold, friend, our friend the turtle. You can kill them for materials. However, you are truly a monster if you choose to do that. The turtles do absolutely nothing to you. They are only friendly. Oh, yeah. Well, let me kill these wolves and then explain what I should have before I jumped. Yeah, the big white wolves, if you hit them 2 times, it's good to back off. They'll like stagger with the first hit, but then they will start an attack animation that you can't stagger them out of, and they will almost certainly stagger you back. Very easy to die to, especially if there's more than one of them. Yeah, so we've got these little air bursts, which will allow you to jump super high on your horse. And also, if you are coming down, you will take no fall damage while on the horse. Very, very convenient thing to have. And a very quick way to get up. The reason we used those is there's another troll over there, and I always have worse luck with that one. He rolls, and that just messes me up. He is too big to move like that. So we're not going to go into this area yet. I really want to beat the boss here, but I also like to talk to NPCs that have things to do with where we are. And one of them is over here. Yeah, we'll pick up the brace. Should hear him talking soon. Ah, there he is.
There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again. Ah, a tarnished, are you? I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death. And worse yet, it is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further.
So this is D. He's a paladin. He also really hates boat people. I don't mind him for the most part, especially early in the game. He's pretty friendly. He gives you some good help with things, but he really, really hates the undead. And some of them have done nothing. Some of them ride boats. Oh. I almost went into that before spending my runes. And you know, it's always a good idea to check your runes if you have enough to level up, which we do if we spend some money. Yeah, always good if you're close to leveling up and you can get over the hill by spending some of your runes. It's good to do that, especially before a boss fight. If you die, you drop all your money where you died. And if you die again, you completely lose all the money you had previously dropped. Now, overworld bosses like this, it's not too bad. You can usually just run through, grab stuff, but especially if you're in a dungeon or somewhere where your money is locked behind a fog wall, it can really suck to not be able to get it unless you can beat the boss. So I always like to just double check how much I have level up beforehand. Avoid the boatman as he splashes around. We staggered him. However, A, you can't critical while on a horse, and B, while he can stagger, he doesn't have a critical animation yet. Easy boss. Something. Yeah. Some of the skeletons are summoned by him, some are just in the area and do not vanish when he dies. Now we can explore here a little bit more. As you can see, our friend, the Paladin, has come to talk.
Another fool who won't listen to reason, eh? But with a prowess for weeding Deathroot. How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their Deathroot, then I'll introduce you to Garank, the beast clergyman. I have a matter of my own to attend to, and the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. What say you? Very well. I've marked the location. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
Excellent. Garank is one of my favorite NPCs in this. And he has some stuff that's really good for a strength faith build. Also, this is a great opportunity to showcase exactly how skeletons work in this game. So you come, you hit them, and they don't die. We got no runes from that. You can see them reforming. If you hit them while they're reforming and give them the good old double tap, that will kill them. So here we can see another thing that we need a stone sword key for. We will definitely be back to get that. It is one of my favorite little talismans. And then if we come up here, so you're gonna find areas that are, oh, look at me about to go into something without fully preparing. So I said a lot earlier that we got the Wet Blade, which can change our Ashes of War. We also picked up Sacred Greatsword. So we can change what it scales off of, based off of what the Ash of War does, or based off the Wet Blade we have, we can just give it a standard scaling, which won't change our damage. But it will give us a newer Ash of War. I should have also leveled, but I don't think I will have overly needed that. So, as I showed, these skeletons, which will ambush you at a lot of different points, need to be double tapped, except some things deal holy damage, which prevents that and just kills them outright. Oh, I didn't expect you guys. It's the basic ones. The Ash of War we equipped does absurd damage to the undead. As you can see, like the little projectile one-shot all of them, and then it gives this nice little buff. If we go to our equipment, you can see right there we're dealing 90 extra holy damage per hit. And specifically this Ash of War, the damage from it will just absurdly damage the skeletons, and they won't respawn, which can be really useful depending on where you are. I highly recommend having a sidearm that's got that. Like, it can be your main weapon, Ash of War, if you really want it, but at the very least, just a nice little sidearm thing that you can pull out against the undead. It's a very useful tool to have. So right here we have dogs. Dogs are one of the most annoying enemies in the game. They're super fast. They will stagger you with almost anything, and they do bleed damage, which if they get a build-up, will just chunk your health. So always be a bit careful when you're going up against the dogs, and if possible, try to catch them off guard, and at least get one of them killed before, you know, having to deal with all of them. So yeah, when you hear music, that's usually an indicator that one of the merchants is in the area. What are you hiding from, buddy?
Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Are you here as a customer?
So yeah, they tend to have infinite amounts of some small things like arrows and bolts, and then limited amounts of other things. If you see a cookbook, I highly recommend getting any of them. The pots are also nice to always buy.
I must apologise. I'm afraid I've very little to offer.
That's okay, buddy. Yeah, the cookbooks, we haven't really got into crafting, but they just give you more crafting options. Gravestones like this are a good indicator that some skeletons are going to try and ambush you. These ones in the sight are obnoxious because they summon those skull projectiles. You can also farm them if you really want to get their scythe. It's pretty decent. But it can also take a lot of farming to get, so unless you want to really commit to that bit, you can always find different weapons. Alright, so we've cleared out all of up here, and most importantly, we got the death route. We have the red mark on the map that D made to take us to Garank. And what do you know? We already got the Site of Grace right by it. Just hop through the window. Now, you can find this and go through it before even talking to D. But if you don't have the death route, there's not a lot of point to it. I mean, you can talk to Garank. He's cool. So, as we can see from our map, we have been teleported very, very far away into a much scarier area that we are not going to explore because we are still a baby adventurer and will die to almost anything, like that boss right behind us, who absolutely, as you can see by the bloodstains, will kill you if you decide to antagonize him. How did you fare? Riveting. It looks like a one-shot and then pushed by the force of the swing. Oh, look, that's another one-shot. Oh, these aren't people challenging him for real. Okay, you're challenging him for real. Those other two just got hit once. the bloodstains keep appearing. So we're not going to go to him and antagonize him. Instead, we are going to go through this door into the Bestial Sanctum and talk to our good buddy Gronk. Hand him the death root.
I smell it. Death. Feed it me. Tarnished. Bring more deaths. I shall grant thee eye and claw. Feed me more.
So yeah, that's Gronk. He likes eating death. Such a friend. Oh, he's cheesing the boss. Good luck, buddy. That's gonna be a lot of arrows. So, best thing about Gronk is the Clawmark seal. So, as you can see, from... Is it here that it's... Yes. So as you can see by the item description, it scales with strength. So perfect for a paladin type build. Most other seals only scale with faith. There's a rare few that do things like arcane or intelligence, but this one scales with strength. So we're going to use it because when we get combat incantations, we want them to do a bit more damage. So we're going to remove that. We're not going to be using a shield a lot, so no need to weigh us down. So the other good thing about the order we did this is by coming to this area and getting to this grace, we are going to, hopefully, trigger our maiden to once again come and speak with us.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you, if you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace. Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
So yes, we have passed the hidden test of continuing to play the game. So, Round Table Hold is a hub, lots of NPCs to talk to, places to buy extra stuff, upgrade equipment. If you want to get to it early, resting at a grace in any of the red area here, Caelid, will trigger Melina to come and bring you here. There's a grace right about here that you can easily get from where the village where we killed the boatman. I don't recommend... She will also trigger if you go to Liurnia, I believe. I don't recommend doing that, as that will move several other NPCs. Whereas what we've done here with talking to Dee, getting the death root, and then going to Gronk doesn't really move a whole lot of people. So we get to talk to other Tarnished.
Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new Tarnished made their way to the Round Table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard allow me a word of advice. As your senior, you are a mere visitor to the Round Table. Nothing more. A house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place, newcomer. There's nothing left to say. Be at your leisure.
Yeah, that cheerful guy is Gideon. I am not a huge fan,
Oh,
but
I see you've just arrived. Welcome to
here.
the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the Two Fingers, and explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a Tarnished of the Round Table Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace. You do? Wonderful news. Most Tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the Two Fingers?
So yeah, this is Corin. I also do not care for him, but he does sell incantations, most importantly, Flame Sling. Yeah, we'll pick up that while we're at it.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
You've met Garank, I take it. Then owing to our duties shared, we are now comrades in arms. I think you've earned this. The power of the Golden Order to aid the hunt of those who live in death.
So D will sell us some very expensive incantations that are very good at dealing with the undead. Unfortunately, they require a bit of intelligence to cast, so we will not be using either of these.
I serve the Golden Order, that I might put this crooked land to rights, following only the guidance of the Great Elden Ring. Those who live in death fall outside the principles of the Golden Order. Their mere existence sullies the guidance of gold, tainting its truth. And so it is the vermin must be exterminated, down to the very last.
Yeah, as you can kind of pick up from what he's putting down, he is a bit of a fanatic. Not the best paladin, or best kind of paladin, but, I mean, he's there.
Ah, hello. You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my servant, but fickle as the wind. Take your eyes off her for but a moment and she's good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me.
The best thing about Dialos is his armor. It looks super cool.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fia. Circumstances have compelled my stay at the Round Table Hold. Great champion, would you allow me to hold you? But briefly, perhaps you might share with me some of your lively vigor and your stout-heartedness. Doing so will grant me the warmth of a champion, and you, I am sure, will bear a Baldakin's blessing. Do you think it vulgar, perhaps? Where I come from, it is a sacred act. Ah, my thanks, great champion. You are very warm. What you felt light up inside you was a Baldakin's blessing. Though it is but a fleeting thing, I am afraid. Come back to me, should you require another. I will take you in my arms, as often as you need.
So yeah, this is Fia. She gives hugs. If the game ever gets you down, you can always get a hug from Fia. She will always be ready to hug you. However, if you noticed when we got that item, the Baldachin's Blessing, our health went down. You can also see in the top left, there's a little status condition we've been afflicted with. It's the red circle with the down arrow. That's letting us know that our max health has been reduced. It is just a property of having the Baldachin's Blessing. If you use it, the status condition will go away, I believe, when the Baldachin's Blessing ends. Yeah, you can see we've got like a little glowing extra armor. It makes it harder for us to be staggered. Yeah, our health just went back to normal. Best NPC in Round Table Hold.
You're a new face. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms. Let's get smithing. I see you've noticed the chains. Nothing special. I'm a prisoner and these are my chains. I'm trapped by the hold. I'm dying, smithing for you fools. That's all there is to it. No, don't read too much into it. I've no grudge against you. My being a prisoner is no fault of yours. Besides, I don't mind smithing. Despite my differences, the weapons get stronger all the same. Given time, technique never fails. Besides, it helps me forget the sheer terror of her.
Yep, Hugh is great. He'll let us upgrade things. Right now, we only have enough smithing stones to get one upgrade in. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade the Clawmark Seal. As we get more runes and more upgrade materials, we can come back to him for bigger and bigger upgrades. Resident Edgelord. And then finally here we have Twin Maiden Husks. They have a lot of useful stuff, and we'll get more the further in you get. They are, however, also very expensive, so we won't be buying a lot right now. This is also if you get bell bearings. I have none right now. This is where you will turn them in. It'll expand their shop, so later on you'll get bell bearings that will give you upgrade materials you can buy, or things from merchants that have died, so you can still purchase all their stuff even if they are no longer there. We're gonna go ahead and get Flame Sling. And that is it for Round Table Hold for now. So you can teleport to it at any point when you really want to. Now we are going to go ahead and come back to Kale. Preemptively.
Wait, weren't you... Well, you're back. Care to buy something?
He always looks a little bit like Santa Claus with the hat and all the red.
The howl of a wolf. In the Mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next time you hear the wolf's howl, make this signal right under the source. Don't fret. There is nothing to fear. I just have an inkling the two of you might hit it off. There are others of my people who yet survive in these lands. If the mood takes you when you meet one, then offer them some trade, won't you? My people, wanderers all have long been spurned by the grace of gold, which is why we cannot settle, but instead are forced into this pitiful, unceasing journey. But thanks to that, things are not so different for us now, though the Elden Ring is shattered. I think this makes us kindred spirits of sorts. Your people, the Tarnished, and mine. Perhaps you don't need to hear this, but see that no harm comes to my kin. We have a saying, we wanderers, lament not your solitude. Expect no sympathy, no regard, nothing. But if anyone dares harm us, show them no mercy. That is our code, so to speak. Just the way we are, deeply unforgiving. Goodbye. Nice to do business.
Yeah, so he has given us a very, very helpful little way to go talk to Blythe if we go back to the ruins. I am still a bit terrified of that bear, so we're going to ignore it for now. And instead, follow up with Bach. Oh, okay. When you've got a lot of gold petals floating around like this, that means you have boosted item discovery rate. It only happens at night. But yeah, if you're trying to farm for an item, this will really help. It will disappear if you try to fast travel and teleport anywhere. So, kinda gotta luck into it. So there is a giant on this path. Or troll. We're gonna leave him. No sense in aggravating the man. So you can see over here, sometimes you'll get one of the scarabs that's invisible and traveling along. And if you can hit it, you'll get the thing. However, be prepared to miss a lot. Damn it. We'll be smart about this. I say that now, but I am definitely going to still miss. I am terrible about timing these things. So there we go, another Ash Shavor we can get. This over here looks like what we would think of a typical merchant area. However, no music. As instead we have this guy. That is part of why I like this particular sword this early on. It's got a higher critical rate, which means that the backstabs that you do a bit extra damage, and it makes it a whole lot easier to one-shot some things. For those of you used to D&D or other video games, criticals mean something different here. It is not a random chance to deal more damage. It is when you have stance broken someone or are backstabbing them. That is the only time you get the critical damage. talk to him on the way back. We have another merchant. This one is kind of rude to you. Oh, you can also see an alternate path down is utilizing the little air springs. We got more dead. Oh yeah, these are oozes. I do not enjoy fighting them. They take very little damage, and they are obnoxious to deal with. Alright, friendo, what do you have?
What do you need? I don't want any trouble.
Ooh. We definitely want the cookbook, but we also kind of want that bow.
Well.
So let's use... we're gonna want some arrows.
You again. I don't want any trouble.
I didn't even leave, man. So there we go. We have a bow and arrow. Not going to be super useful to us in most cases, but there is a very nice little trick we can do with them. We are also going to want a torch, as this cave has no light.
What are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. You'll end up just like me.
Yep, so as you can see, the people in this cave were not very kind to our friend Buck. And as I said earlier, I like Buck. So the reasonable response is to go in and murder absolutely everyone who did this to our friend. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, that's not ideal. Ah, there you are. So yes, we bought the torch from Kale for this because without it, there is no light. This is also why we went 16 strength right away to one-hand this weapon, because it would be obnoxious to have to hold a torch. I feel like there's something behind me. I miss one. No, the sound just echoes. Alright, so sometimes a boss does not have a nice fog wall indicating that's where they are. Sometimes the fog wall will appear after you have entered their arena. However, in this case, we have this nice glowing yellow symbol, which will summon an NPC to help you. This is Old Knight Istvan. He's great. I like him. Now, something to know is if you summon an NPC, the boss does get a bit more health, and you get less runes after you beat them. So we're gonna go ahead and just try this with just our friendly doggos. This particular boss has 2 bosses, but if we stay on this end of the cave, we should only get one of them. And we got up against the wall. stagger both of them at the same time, this fight is a lot harder. Because they do bleed damage. Trying to talk to people. And they do good stagger damage, however they are also a boss that staggers very easily when you hit them. So, there's a lot of the little minions in here too. However, once you beat both the bosses, they just stand around cowering, and you can knock them out without any trouble. So, as we can see, here's the little bit to teleport us right back to the beginning of the dungeon. But this continues. So we are going to follow the tunnel. Secret tunnel. I'm slightly annoyed that I don't really want to one-handing, but we can add more strength when we level. And here we are at the end of the secret tunnel. So, as you can see, we have a site of grace, we've got a church, there's a nice floating jellyfish. The jellyfish are almost always peaceful. If they're glowing red, something has aggravated them. They will attack you. I do not recommend aggravating them. They're very nice otherwise. So here we have a nice altar for Dragon Communion. This is a different kind of faith build than what we're going. This involves arcane and getting a bunch of dragon powers. Another jellyfish. My favorite build in the game involves arcane, but it is not as easy as strength faith, so we are going more paladin-like. When a message glows like this, it's an indicator that it's a, pre-made message directing you or warning you of something. It'll show even if you're offline. This one is telling us of another place for Dragon Communion far to the east. Not that we have to worry about that now. We can also hear a bit of ringing. That ringing indicates there is a scarab nearby. Oh, also, hasn't really come up yet. Water is death in this game. There is no such thing as swimming. If you fall into water and you cannot stand in it, you will just die. So, be careful not to run off the edge here. Especially if you're just on the horse. The Tarnished Warrior fails all swim checks. Ooh, skull. Replenish our money. Yeah, that is this island. Not a lot here. But, depending on your build, you might enjoy it if you want to go Dragon Communion. So yeah, you can see that is the island we can see from the map before we get to it. And it is through the cave. We're gonna come back here, let Bach know we murdered everybody from this cave he grew up with who has bullied him.
Oh. What are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. Oh, you'll end up just like me. Wait. Is that what I think it is? You got it back for me. My sewing needle. What made you go and do a thing like that? My mum was a seamstress, and that sewing kit was all I had to remember her by. I always wanted to be just like sweet old mum. Then I suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I? Thank you very... I always want... Then
I always feel like there is going to be more to his dialogue here than there is. But yeah. No bullying, chat. So with that done, we're gonna come back up here and go to what I think is the third of the very easy early dungeons. And very accessible from the beginning parts of the game. I'm also gonna show you, you'll see these guys standing around. If you examine them, it'll light a flame, which will guide you to a crypt. You don't have to go and examine them. Most of the time you can just kind of notice them, see where they're facing, and be like, oh, okay, there's a catacomb somewhere nearby. Grab the grace. And you know what? Ugh. We need 1,000. Let's go ahead and keep leveling health for a bit. Yeah, so sometimes these ghosts sitting around will just give you little bits of lore for the world. Alright, how do we want to do this? There's no message, but if we can corner peek, not very well. I don't want to get too close, so we're just going to trigger it. Yep, little gargoyle guys. Some of the most annoying enemies in the game. They're very quick, they hit hard, they have bleed. Wary of left. Always good to give people a little heads up for ambush. Could have been more specific. Alright, they also sometimes will appear to just be a normal little guy sitting around. I thought for a minute there was a second one. They throw rocks. They are obnoxious. We do not like them. Most of the time, you will find them in the catacombs. Though catacombs also can have undead in them. Another big trait is usually you can see the doorway to the boss right away, but it is closed and you cannot open it. Oh, the one on the left saw us. So yeah, part of the reason we delayed coming here until after Round Table Bowl is magic is usually pretty good against these guys. Okay, well, unless you're gonna come down here, I am not going to continue wasting magic. Yeah, magic is usually really good against them. If there are some standing at range, there will also be some... hiding to ambush you. Alright, so as you can see, we have a little flame pillar here. Now, you can just run, and there's always like little side passages you can duck into to time things, but it's a whole lot better if you get a bow. You can use R1. We got arrows specifically for this. We're gonna shoot it, and look at that. Hitting it makes it disappear. So this is also a good one to demonstrate. Anything like melee hits will make this raise back up, but even just like jumping nearby will do it. And if you're on top, yeah, a jump heavy slam that hits down will also get that back. So as you can see, our very stealthy gargoyles are sitting there waiting for us to trigger them and all jump out to maul us. We are not going to allow them to do that, because luckily they are waiting for the perfect ambush and will allow us to aggro them one by one and deal with them this way. Be careful when doing this that you don't trigger that pillar. That would be very obnoxious. Yeah, as you can see, he hit it, it didn't trigger. It should only be you that can do that. With that wonderful puzzle solved. I know, right? They think they should blend in, but unfortunately, my perception is not that low. Actually, the trickier ones are the ones that are perfectly on the ground, like that one straight ahead, because there will be some that are not actual enemies, and so these can sometimes trick you up. These are actually stealthy, but luckily you can lock onto them and If they notice you being there too long, start moving. Oh, I hate this one in particular. So yes, that guy aggro's on immediately. We have a very good message, be wary of right. As you can see, the guy who's aggroed is going to just throw knives at us. Rude little gremlin that he is, and not come into melee range. Got a little friend waiting around the corner to actually shank us. I hate it when they get smart like that. Yeah. This is the kind of good message that people should leave and that you want to find, which gives you very specific, hey, you're gonna get stabbed by somebody on the right. Did he fall down? Yes, he did. Well, we got another stealthy little gremlin. And the lever. Ah, yeah, there he is. So, as we can tell from the noise, the little pop-up, and the fact that the doors are open, the boss is now free for us to go into. I'm going to go replenish all the healing I wasted on the little gremlin gargoyles. Now, if anybody is a fan of Uncanny Valley, you are going to love this boss because it just has the perfect way of making you feel very uncomfortable with how unnatural it looks. I'm gonna go ahead and get some doggos. As the thing that should not stand on two legs gets on up. Dogs are not super helpful in this fight because he has a lot of AoE like that. As you can see, the dogs are already gone, but they provided some very good distraction. Very good distraction for us to get that. Mostly painless. Oh, I did not showcase it, but we can still do that from where we're gonna be. So when you go into some dungeons, especially catacombs, there should be... It's not appearing. Maybe clearing it got rid of it. Ah, maybe clearing it does get rid of it. There's a little symbol that will appear that will not let you fast travel out. But it's not showing up right now, so maybe killing the boss got rid of it here. So, right now, we've gotten the easiest dungeons available. We're gonna come back to my very, very, very scary area that I do not enjoy. And we're gonna go try and sneak behind some bears. Ooh, okay. 500. We're gonna need to break some more skulls, get some more runes. Rob some more graves. Let's go along the right side this time. So Kale gave us a new little gesture we can perform to get, oh fuck, there's, to get our helpful dog friend. Oh, this is an ambush. Oh no. Huh? Yeah, to get our helpful dog friend to come down and talk to us. Oh, it's a bear. It's not a big bear, it's still a bear. We don't fuck with bears. Just run away. It will give up on you eventually. Everyone can live their lives. And we have gone clean past where we needed to go because we ran into a bear and ran. Oh. And other wildlife have taken offense to our presence. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go get our friend down before failing to sneak past the big bear. This gesture for finger snap.
Who goes there? Kale sent you, did he? Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blythe. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby. Or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward. Darrowell isn't in need of a fitting end to his tale.
Yep, this is Blythe. We love Blythe. One of my favorite NPCs in this game. Blythe is cool. Oh, I can't jump over that wall. Alright. Stealth mission, take 2. This time, we won't fuck with the bear. Flawless. I've never tested it because I don't mess with the bears, but I wonder if Blythe would kill that bear for you. Once again, I am not about to test it. Because rule number 1 for me is do not fuck with bears. And this time, it was a success. Whew. You know, I wouldn't put it past him to be friends with the bear. The bear is probably a bit scared of him, and I just do not instill that kind of terror into bears. See, the bear probably would invite Blythe to tea. I'm not so lucky. There we go. lot of swords from these guys. So as you can see, little pre-generated message. This one is just trying to direct you to our good merchant.
Dear customer. Yes, right this way. Right this way. Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long. Please?
See, oh, he has expensive stuff. Ooh. I still want to buy things because I feel bad for him. I'm gonna just get a few arrows. I do not know how that stays on the back of the donkey. Oh, that's a bear. All right. So we talked to useless nobleman earlier. That is his fort. It is going to be a minute before we actually go into that. However, grab this site of grace. That way we can easily come back and tackle that when we want to. The Great Kenneth Height can wait. One of these beaches has loot, and one does not. This one does. I also do not mess with the octopuses. Because they are also terrifying. Look at that. They are not worth messing with. So luckily, as our runes are running low, we have another graveyard to rob. We're dealing with the customary wolf guardians. Oh, we came down. Thank you. Lots of runes. Still have combat music. Did I miss a wolf? Oh, I did miss a wolf. Remember, when you run into a group of enemies, make sure to get rid of all of them, because if you leave one alive, that will be the start of another hero's journey, and they will seek you down for revenge. So just preemptively save yourself the trouble. Ah, right. I thought there was going to be one of the air springs, but instead we just come around. So, well-guarded bridge. We're going to raid it later. More importantly, deal with this guy. Yeah, if you can, in a 3-hit combo, take somebody out, it's really easy to get off on the horse these little guys have some sort of very obnoxious hyper armor on the dagger, so if they start doing a combo, just let them swing until they're done, because you won't be able to interrupt it easily, and they will just stagger you and throw you off the horse. There's our Site of Grace. I didn't actually want to extend that. Force of habit. So, I'll let you in on a little secret. This guy standing here. This is not actually a guy. This is, in fact, a bear in disguise. So do not fuck with this guy. He will just become a bear and murder you. Yeah. This guy gets it. Listen to the warnings. They know. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Please go about your business. I didn't mean to mess with you. Oh, anything can put on a disguise. And that is exactly the type of combo I was trying to warn people about earlier. But yes, there are several disguised bears in this game, and they are the most horrifying kind, because if you forget that they are a disguised bear, you will accidentally aggravate them, and we don't want to do that. And we're gonna go ahead and... Alright. This is an Evergaol. They are very, very good for training on boss fights because they all have Stakes of Marika. So if you die, you can easily come back and do it again. And also you can pick up your runes from outside. Now this one in particular has Dairy Will. So since we talked to Blythe and got the message, we can summon him, which I'm going to do. Because he's one of my favorite NPCs, so I will fight with him whenever I can.
Darrowell, rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
I don't summon every NPC, but sometimes I really like their story. And what better bonding experience is there than murdering someone who wronged you? We did it for Bach, we'll do it for... Roll backwards. Die. God damn. Okay, I didn't mean for him to actually, like, fully finish it there, but Blythe is pretty strong. I am not going to go ask the bears for tea, though, if I can level up with pretty much no runes left over, I will go show you the disguised bear.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize. Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Rea Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you, and he'll be sure to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon. That's enough chit-chat for now. It's time we parted ways.
Oh, don't worry. I will find you later. Oh yeah, you got the little worm things by the Evergowls. They won't do anything. You can just ignore them. Oh. Out of stamina? Almost a bad situation. Okay, let us see. close we can get this level up. Oh, you guys are in luck. I will have very little so you can see the bear disguise. We'll go ahead and get more stamina. We're gonna need it. Running from the bear. Oh yeah, giant crabs, also annoying. I try not to mess with them, but they're not, you know, bear level. Alright, so the goal here, I'm going to hit him, and then I'm going to run, and the bear is going to chase me, and it is going to kill me. There is no other option. I have zero faith in my ability to take on this bear. But you know, we'll show you why I fear them. I don't want to hug, I don't want to hug. We're doing no damage. Up. Oh, that's bad. Oh, he's got me. He's got me. Oh, okay. Never mind. Aha! Oh, fuck! No! This was a bear fight! How dare you! Oh, you... God damn it. Oh, I feel so cheated. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Oop, oop, nope. No! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I was just warning people you were there. The bear invites everybody to tea but me. God damn. Yeah, so as you can see, very, very poor damage for fighting that bear. Oh, it's the first time we actually died. Very poor damage into that bear. He's very fast. He hits very hard. I do not recommend. It is not a good time. Not a good time at all. Where's my runes? Oh, look, right here. So we can recover the little bit of runes we had. As we can see, the bear is still up there, back in his disguise. We will not mess with him. One day I will be strong enough to take on that bear. And you know what'll happen? I still won't. Alright. So as you can see, they are prepared for us coming through here with a giant ballista and, you know... We're just gonna run. Okay. Don't want to deal with Mr. Phalanx. You look easy. Hi. Hello. I regret to inform you all that I have a horse and you do not. Your shields will do very little. Okay, your shield will do enough. You gotta go last. So here is a good time to explain, when you lock on while on horseback, the camera will switch and it can make riding on horseback very dangerous if you're near cliff edges. Huzzah! I thought there were more butterflies here. So yes, we have made it to the Weeping Peninsula. I still count this as part of Limgrave. It's still part of the beginner area. Very, very good area. Nice and easy for beginners. However, it will be raining a lot, hence the name. We have here another friendly NPC.
Hello? Is somebody there? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please? My name is Irina. I've escaped from Castle Morn, to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swear I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander. I fear for father's life. The servants are full wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morn. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father? At the castle, my soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe. Thank you. Dearly. Then please, take this. Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
So yeah, this is Irina. Poor girl, lost all her guards. I highly recommend doing this side quest because there is a later storyline that you can miss out on if you do not. So, this area, we've got a troll, we've got a bunch of guards who are not in a condition to fight, and then, worst of all, we have several packs of dogs. So we're gonna try and sneak up on this one. Easy kill. His friend. And there's a third one mucking about that we want to deal with. As my cat has come to the defense of the dogs and is interfering with my controller. Distance. God damn it. One left. God damn it. Like I said, they stagger you, and they are fast. So we should be able to take this, leaving our friendly little troll without getting us. Grab the Morning Star, which is a very nice weapon. It has bleed buildup if people are interested in that. I just like swords and their movesets. Here we go, dealing with our first Mystiga. There we go, encampment cleared. Except for the friendly people. We have another scarab. So we will pick up an Ash of War. That is one only for bows, so we will not be using that.
Buying or selling?
Alright. So here, we have a spring. We are going to angle this one in particular because we want to end up in that tower. Yes, you get the great turtle shell shield. And some extra stuff. And then we are going to come over here and do a very, very cruel little puzzle after we deal with these guys. So, as you can see, this tower has a seal, and in order to break the seal, we must seek the 3 wise beasts, which will be these lovely turtles, which unfortunately, ghost turtles, you have to hit to break the seal. It is terrible. I wish there were some other way, but unfortunately, this is what we gotta do. At least they are already dead. Now this last one is incredibly sneaky, but you can see it moving occasionally. And this will allow us to enter into the tower. Climb up the very long ladder, go to this unnecessary outside staircase from which we can fall to our death, and get the memory stone. This is someone who fell to their death. Yep. So the memory stone is how we unlock more spell slots. As you notice, we only have the urgent heal and the flame sling, but with a memory stone, we can now get a 3rd spell. This is really a spell that I want to put in there right now, but you know, for later. Got a plan for the future. So yeah, these little astrolab sort of things, you can pick up starlight shards, useful consumable. It will get you back more focus points. And that's all we're gonna do up here for this bit. Gonna pop back down. Here we go. So, we have a nice little side quest. We're supposed to deliver a letter to the castle to that girl's father. Unfortunately, We have a very, very active guardian. Who is not going to want us to approach. So in this case, we are going to seek cover because he has very good tracking and knows where we are. Still fire at us, and then we're gonna take advantage of his reload time. Okay, run a little faster toward it. Alright. Luckily, he has very weak ankles. Unfortunately, running out of stamina. So there we go. He has been dealt with. He does not respawn, which is great. We're still going to take a little bit of advantage of killing him to run around a bit. So you can see from over here, conspicuous boss-looking arena over there, but no safe path through the water. So we're gonna have to travel through the castle. We have a nice little turtle friend. Ah yes, these sword monuments can be examined to get little bits of lore. So this one talks about the siege of Castle Morn and the last hero who defended it before Lord Godfrey destroyed him. Ah yes. So we have some jellyfish that are agitated. We do not want to mess with them. However, we do want these, so we are going to risk it and throw some zigs and zags in to avoid the jellyfish wrath. Oh, something died over there. Will I turn around and see what? No. I am not going to aggravate the jellyfish further. So we have a few more dogs here on this beach. Oh, oh. Okay, that didn't go as well as I wanted. I mean, luckily they're missing me as much as I'm missing them, so... Woo! Doggo's defeated. That just gives us more flasks. We don't really need that. Is there something over here? Nope, nothing. So, with most of the preliminary area taken out, there's just one other thing we want from here before we enter into the castle. It's going to be up here. Yep, so right there, straight ahead, you see this golden tree. These have golden seeds, which, wouldn't you know it, they give us more healing. It's very easy to miss. Usually if you come up here, it's easier to get down onto it, or you can hop up from this side. I recommend taking out the giant first, as the arrows will hit you up there. If you don't kill the giant with just attacking the ankles, a few heavy attacks will make him fall over, and you can get a critical. Ah yes, that means we cannot ride our horse through the dungeon. You cannot ride your bike inside. This is not the place for it. We need 600. We should have that. We robbed some graves. Let's go ahead and level up. Add a charge. Get more healing. For a minute, I thought I had picked up another seed somewhere. Oh. Dang it. We're 71 short. Better pop another. Stamina is going to be useful. 3,600. Yeah, we are nowhere close to that in runes, so we're just gonna head up into the castle. So normally, I'd leave this for a little bit later. I think I'm a little under-leveled for this. But it has the weapon that I really, really want. And perhaps most importantly, we gotta get that letter to her dad. Deal with dog. Deal with dog friend less cleanly. So there's a lot we can do here. The lovely people on top of the mound of burning corpses will not attack you if you do not interrupt their revelry. So what we're going to do is not kill that dog. That could have been worse. Hey, doggo. Come here. Alright. So there are two paths we can take. The quickest path is that way. We are not going the quickest path because I want my claymore. So we are going to not get close enough to backstab. Get ahead of it. Okay. Don't. Ah, shit, we got him. Oh, we were specifically trying not to get more of you. Oh, okay, I thought we got the big guy. Well, that's okay. Get snuck upon. Sneaky, sneaky. Excellent. Have it. Our claymore. So we need a little extra dexterity to wield this. Unlike with strength, you cannot get around the dexterity requirements. You have to meet them. So we will be focusing on that. Here we have the proletariat rising against the oppressors. So Castle Morn has a very interesting dynamic of you have the misbegotten fighting and the human soldiers here defending them. Now, both of them are hostile to us. So no matter which side you prefer, we have to kill both because they are not going to let us live. But a nice bit is they do focus on each other for the most part. So it's really easy to just isolate groups of them and go for that. Get this guy. I didn't swing soon enough. Ah, we have another torch. As you can tell, cheerful place. Not much for accommodations. I give it a 3 out of 10 in tourism rating. So we can drop down here. This guy will charge us. And I swung way too soon. So yes, if we had come back through there, this is the other way. It is shorter, easier to sneak through. Only thing is, I wanted my claymore. I didn't want to get the archer guys. No rapid fire. And like going up out of range. Roll! I will be honest. Don't know how I didn't get hit there. We're also gonna have these feather arrows stuck in us for quite some time. I thought I jumped off. There we go. Excellent. Now, if we had done this a bit faster, we would still have some soldiers up here fighting. Oh, we do. That's good. You can see he instantly turned on us. Oh. I thought I was going to stagger him a bit more. I brought that on myself. I think the other guy fell off. Thought I saw somebody over there. And here we go.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morn won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology. I see. From Arena. Thank you. I'm in your debt, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured Sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands.
So yeah, this is Edgar. He chose duty over his daughter's safety. Don't be like Edgar. Now, in order to complete the quest and get him to Irina, we have to go and get the treasured Sword of the Castle. Which means a lot of walking. So if you come over here, you can hop over. Nice little site of grace. Unfortunately, that wall is too high to hop back over. So we are committed to this. We have committed to the bit. Hey, stone sword key. Alright, we have some oozes that we want to not deal with, so we're gonna come get rid of these guys before the oozes catch us. Out of the way as an ooze is gonna come down. Lovely little ooze. Okay. I don't recall if you can backstab this guy. Nope. No, he knows we're coming. I am panic rolling. Because I do not have the times down for him, and that's what I get for panic rolling. Death. We can just skip this guy. However, there is a talisman up the tower near him that I would like to get. So we're gonna go back and give it one more try. Did seem to stagger a lot from our Ash of War. So let's see if we can spam it. Pick up. Ooh, delayed swings. There we go. A much better second attempt, as that frightening ooze is going to continue making its way towards us. So yes, we have the Twin Blade Talisman. I actually have not equipped anything. We're gonna go ahead and charged attacks are probably the thing we're gonna be using the most out of the 3 talismans we've got. Nothing really deals fire damage to us at this point. So we're gonna go ahead and just put on that axe talisman. Hop over and continue our downward trend towards the boss arena. Alright. This is another part that we are going to be happy we have some ranged incantations. Gonna do some careful platforming so we don't fall to our death. Alright, so what we want to do is come up to the wall and slide off like so. That way, we are not down there. And we may instead rain fire down upon these rats. Rats are also aggravating enemies in this game. I'll still take them over dogs, because they tend to be slower. Oh well. Fall off like I just did. But yeah, I'll take rats over the dogs. They're easier to manage, a little less threatening. Let's see. We are 900 away. Which means we are going to go ahead and spend these. And then, yeah, the level up we're going to go for is Dexterity. This should give us the requirements for the Claymore. So yeah, as you can see, weighs the same. We're doing a little bit more damage with it. It scales better with strength. And perhaps the best thing for me is the Ash of War for this is one of my favorites. Knight Artorias cosplay. So here we're going to have an interesting time. We've got one of the archery guys. Something has aggroed us. But we also have one of these. 1, 2. Okay. Well. I was hoping that would kill him. Ah, fuck you. That'll kill him. Oh, never mind. I thought he was gonna fall over the edge and die. Unfortunately, good luck on that one. So we are going to be careful. You can see the edge there of what is safe. We are going to pop a flask, pop another flask, run from giant crab to get the thing we came for, which is a whole heck of a lot of fire arrows. Try to lock on to the damn thing we want to. Massive stance damage. And deal with that giant crab. So, not ideal to go into... Oh, yeah, first time we got the map since we got the Weeping Peninsula. We're probably going to finish up Castle Morn and call it a night, but we will definitely explore the rest of this on our next stream. But not ideal to go into a boss fight with lower resources. So we are going to just hop over the edge and head here. So once again, I am probably underleveled for this. You may summon Edgar to assist you, but we're gonna give it an attempt or two with just me and the dogs. I do recommend that this boss you maybe have a bit more levels than I do. The main issue is when he gets a move where he has hyper armor, he has a lot of combos and does a lot of damage. The dogs are really good at staggering him, though. You see right there where he has very, very good reach. Avoid the consequences of my actions. Oh, thank you. Oh, we do not deserve the dogs. And there we go. So yeah, that is the Leonin Misbegotten. Really good damage and annoying attack pattern for this early in the game. He also gives us a unique weapon. As you can see, that is not something we will be using at any point in the near future, as it has a measly strength requirement of 40 to be able to wield it. So that'll probably be like 27 or 30 something to two-hand. But with the fabled Sword of Castle Morn, we are now able to go talk to Edgar again and tell him to go pick up his daughter. Oh, more importantly, we can level! Let's see. I want to get health to 20. Especially if this is your first time playthrough. Getting health to 15 before leveling stuff too much, and then 20 again, I feel, is a good amount. Early game, most of your damage is going to come from the weapon and the upgrades you give to it. Whereas having a lot of health, especially early on, is going to give you a better chance of surviving. As you can see from multiple fights we've been through, I am not playing this perfectly. And if it's your first time, you're not going to play it perfectly either. So having the help to survive your mistakes is a very important part of this game and any Souls-like game. You don't have to play perfectly, you just have to be able to survive any of your screw-ups. I believe he might leave us be. Good. I don't want to deal with him. Excellent. This guy, we can simply backstab. If you're wondering the random runes I'm getting, it's the soldiers fighting the Misbegotten here. You will still get the runes for it when they kill each other. It is a pretty good source of health. We are going to go ahead and just aggro him from a distance before we get those guys. And you know what? We're gonna play this smart. We've got the bow, we might as well use the bow. These are a lot easier to deal with when you've only got one of them. I thought that got more airtime. And despite what I just said, we instantly aggroed the other one. So be more careful than I was. We didn't take enough time. The bow guy is still over there. We could go down here. Give the soldiers a bit more time to clear out the guys over there. So, we definitely have somebody behind this box. I bet that's what the message is. So yeah, more upgrade materials. We might have enough to get the claymore decently upgraded, which would be good. The bow guy's still there. I don't like seeing that. At least one of the soldiers is alive, though, so maybe that'll hold out a bit more. Yeah. Damn it. Oh. That guy held out as long as he needed to.
I'm in your debt for keeping the sword from those fallen creatures. I'm no longer bound by duty. Once I've rescued Irina, I will spend my remaining days with her. Thanks to you, and devote my remaining day. Irina has a gentle nature, though. I only hope it remains intact.
Alright, so with that, we have finished his quest line for the most part. We're gonna come back here, go and get some stuff upgraded.
Well, I took you for dead. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms, then.
So yeah, not enough. We need 3 more smithing stones and a bit more runes to get the claymore up to +3. That's going to be a goal. We're also going to want to upgrade our claw mark seal. But you know, +2, pretty decent. As you'll notice, Sir Gideon is no longer at where he was standing, and his room is now open. So we can go bother him.
What do you need? I have little time to spare.
Bother.
Oh, are you aggrieved at the notion you are but a visitant here? Then you would do well to remember the first words of grace given to you. Stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. If those words held any meaning to you, follow the guidance of grace. Lay low the shard bearers and claim for yourself a great rune. Do so, and the doors to the Round Table's inner chamber will open, and you will receive the wisdom of the Two Fingers.
Yeah, so he's gonna be a dick to us until we get a great rune. He's still gonna be a bit of a dick to us even after we get a great rune, but well, can't do much about that. So yeah, we made our start, came along here, picked up a few useful things, defeated a few bosses, got some of the easiest early dungeons out of the way. And next stream, we are going to tackle most of the Weeping Peninsula. I will admit, there's 2 dungeons I'll probably skip. One because it's just annoying, and the other because the boss is a bear. And rule number 1, you do not fuck with the bears in this game. As I showed you, painfully. But yeah, you'll also notice we're ignoring most of the signs of grace that are pointing us towards the castle. A lot of people will just run straight there. If it's your first time playing, or you don't know how much you're gonna like a Souls game like this, I highly recommend take your time, explore everywhere, find a spot on the map that looks cool, go to it, see something in the distance you want to go check it out. You don't need to fight things beyond your capabilities like the Tree Sentinel here, and I think Margit would have less of a reputation if more people spent time just exploring and passively gaining levels as they went through the beginner area instead of just running straight to him. Some of these bosses are a brick wall. Yeah, if you beat your head against it enough, you'll succeed and you'll get through it, but you'll probably have a more enjoyable time just doing a more casual exploration-based playthrough. Now there is one last thing that we need to do. We've still got all our beginner armor. That's gonna stay with us for a bit. But we need to go do the last bit for Edgar and Irina, which is seeing their reunion.
Rena, how could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Irina, it will be done.
So yeah, this is Edgar. He chose duty over his daughter's safety. Don't be like Edgar. So, yeah, thank you everybody who tuned in for this. Had a good time with the chat that did appear. If you're watching this on YouTube at a later date, come around to the live stream. I'll be doing Monday through Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. just casual playthrough for beginners to watch, trying to get to the point where we're ready to go into the DLC when it comes out next month. Had a great time. Hope to see everybody at future streams. Until then, bye.